Mm. Oh, hello, Ellen. How are you? Give me a few moments waiting for Savannah to log on. See you too, Ellen. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey,
We're getting to be old pros at logging on.
no, right? Just came right on.
Yes.
How
Yeah.
are you?
Well, I'm good. I'm good. Then we got one viewer so far, Ellen A, and I think you know her already.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know Ellen. Hey,
Yeah.
Ellen. How are you? So you have to help me with the feed because I can't see it as well as you can. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Who you in? We
yeah, I
got
got.
nope, Evelyn Stores. How are you, Evelyn?
Hey, Evelyn.
Mm.
Look, I'm having trouble with my earring. I just had earrings on, and look, this thing will not go on. I'm just half lopsided, y'all. Just lopsided.
Everybody, everybody loves your earrings when you come on.
Thank you. Well, let me just do this side tonight because I can't get this one in. What the heck?
Yeah. Now, what's this? Episode 6 of Whiskey and Wine.
It is about that.
Love that.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're doing
I'm
good.
gonna try it.
Nope.
We are.
So
I
I
don't want
guess,
to make my ear bleed.
yeah. So I guess we get into it. What are you drinking this evening?
Well, I didn't finish my other bottle, so I still have my I'm trying to use that to see the feed. I still have my Shoe Crazy Chardonnay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to finish this one up, and then I'm gonna hold it up for people who weren't here last week. The Shoe Crazy wine.
Yeah, that's
She is
right.
local. She is local, and it says it's lightly oaked with hints of pears, traditional yet exceptional.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Little
good.
little personal wine stopper.
Mm-hmm. Well, I forgot about my best friend, Jim Beam.
Poor Jim. Poor Jim.
You see, it's a bigger baller than the other ones I've been presenting the last several weeks. But Jim Beam is an American brand of bourbon whiskey produced in Claremont, Kentucky by Beam's Suntory and is one of the best-selling brands of bourbon in the world. It's
Wow.
been around since 1795. It was interrupted by the Prohibition, and 7 generations of the Beam family have been involved in whiskey production for the company that produces the brand. And the brand name became Jim Beam in 1943 in honor of James B. Beam.
Mm.
So as you can see, such a big bottle is always my go-to,
Mm-hmm.
after work
Yes.
or what have you. So these are,
Mm-hmm. After climbing up the 10, 11
yeah,
trillion million.
Mississippi Hill steps. And I
Oh,
keep,
she's telling me my screen is dark. I don't
oh
know what
yeah,
that is. It?
not to me it isn't. Yeah.
Let me try something. Y'all have to look at the door for a minute. Let me try
Um,
something.
well, hey Brenda. Well, I continue to pour a little liquor in my Jim Beam glass. I got this glass for Christmas. I think you can see the logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
And if
It's
you're new,
gonna be dark in here for a minute. I'm gonna turn the overhead light on.
yeah, it's
I
probably
don't know
what
if it's gonna help.
yeah.
I don't. Maybe it was too much light. I don't think I can. No, this doesn't have. Sometimes on my screen when I'm watching movies, I can lighten it, but I can't lighten this one.
Oh, okay.
So Ellen has to tell me if this is better.
Hey, Brenda.
It looks fine to me. It looks fine to you.
Looks fine to me, but I have to go to the eye doctor in July.
Thanks, Charles Lee. Thank you.
It-
Thank
but no,
you.
looks fine to me. All jokes aside, yeah.
It looks fine on the cell phone too. Ellen, are
Uh-huh.
you sure you don't need to lighten your screen?
She says a little bit.
It might be your screen. See if you
Yeah.
can lighten your screen. Because if I get any lighter, I'm gonna be washed out.
Uh, so yesterday, where were we? At the book and vendor fair in the Gun Cotton uh, coffee shop, Hopewell.
Mm-hmm.
Usually evening event, and yeah, Charles is brighter because
Mm-hmm.
I got a new chandelier in the dining room.
Mm.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. Usually in the evening time, so we had a little bit more of a traffic flow in there. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is the one I was talking about a few weeks ago when I told you I sold those 6 novels, and I felt like a New York
Oh,
Times best.
yeah.
Yep, and so it was enough for a really nice lunch the next day. So
Mm-hmm.
I was really excited. So hopefully we have Lynette Lee on maybe in a few weeks, and she can talk
Yeah,
about
that would be great.
that.
That would be great.
Together. Mm-hmm. Hey, Margaret Howell, how are you?
Oh, let's see. Let me share this to my page.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, we are live.
Yeah.
If I can.
Mm-hmm.
Then that way we can pull some people in from both pages.
Yeah, that's right. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
so what you reading tonight?
Well, I can't remember whether I'm supposed to read a little bit of Behind Closed Doors. Remember we talked about that the last time?
Yeah, Janice Harper says she wanted to hear.
Denise
She's not even on
was
here.
was it this one or was it this one? The Prodigal Son. Do you remember?
I think it was the other one you pulled up. The Prey.
The Prey I read the
Oh,
first time. This is Behind
yeah,
Closed Doors.
I think it was
You
that
think it
one.
was Behind Closed Doors?
Oh, hey, thank you, Margaret, for sharing it to the page. I wouldn't pay that no. You read what you want to read. Janice Harper ain't nowhere to be found.
Where are you, Janice?
As I take another sip.
Well, let's see. This one, I'll tell you a
Oh,
little bit about it. I'll read the back first, and then I'll pick a chapter. Brent and Nia have been married for 5 years, but by all appearances, Brent seems to be more attracted to his new assistant, Zori. Although he vehemently denies it when questioned, Nia's suspicions are confirmed in the worst way when Zori takes her for a mysterious ride, exposing more than she bargained for. Steven is madly in love with his gorgeous fiancée, Brooke, and cannot wait to make her his wife. All is going well until the sultry Peaches moves to town and sets her sights on having Steven for herself. Filled with lust, Peaches decides to stop at nothing until she has him. From the outside looking in, things are not always as they appear. And that's the truth. Join author Savannah J as she takes you on a spellbinding ride behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. So let's see. I'm trying to find the
I think Ellen said you're brighter now.
I'm brighter. I haven't changed anything.
I think she said something. She hit overview or something, and I guess
I
she's good.
don't know. Hmm.
I think she's good on her end with the viewing.
Oh, okay. Oh, Janice said, which book was that from? Behind Closed Doors. Is this the one, Janice? I can't. Is this the one you wanted to hear? I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find where Peaches comes to town
Okay.
and sets her eyes on Brent. It may take me a few
Oh,
minutes.
but she said yes. But while
She
you
did.
doing, yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, so while you're doing that, I can read an excerpt from In the Black.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I told everybody about Matthew and Milton and Jason. So anyway, this is where things getting ready to culminate. And goes on with his usual amount of arrogance and still aiming the gun. Matthew said, I'll go first. The bottom line is I still want Bonnie, and Bonnie is Jason's wife. And
Mm-hmm.
the only way to do that is to get rid of you. So I developed a plan. When we were at the Y, you thought I was some damn clerk from Walmart. So I went to a few and found this loser behind me, my perfect physical image, but none of my class and style, of course. Working in the garden section, I was shocked to see someone who looks just like me. Anyway, Milton looked like he didn't have any money and probably wanted and needed some, so I waved some cash in front of him and told him what I had in mind. He readily admitted to me that he knew you very well after I showed him that picture of you in the Richmond Free Press receiving the Man of the Year award. I can't believe they gave that to you anyway. Milton quickly gave me your whole life story from the very beginning to right here in this crack house. This is a crack house. I almost died here. I remember. What does all this have to do with Bonnie? And don't forget, Jason has amnesia or had amnesia. Well, you see, after I get rid of you, I'm going to console Bonnie and your daughter and ask her to marry me after a reasonable amount of time, of course. Now, I am a dog bag nature and I needs my women. When Bonnie wants to spend a quiet evening at home or she wants us to have dinner with her parents, and the rest of her loser family or attend one of her AKA sorority functions, and I want to be with one of my whores, Milton will step in and take my place until I return. It's just that plain and simple. I would pay Milton handsomely for his time impersonating me as well. He's all about the dollar. When he steps out of line or screws up like he did earlier, there would be penalties, like riding in the trunk of my car. Why do that to Bonnie? Why? Just leave her alone if you can't be faithful. Bonnie is the only woman who ever cared for me, and I think she can love me again, but I need you out of the way. And faithful? No real man is faithful to his wife, no matter how much he loves her. Now, see, everyone gets what they want. And everyone knows that I dumped and mistreated Bonnie for another woman. Now I want to get back with her and still have my women on the side. No man should be alone. I need to show everyone that I'm good for Bonnie. And with Milton being my perfect physical image, I can practically be at her side all the time. And no one would be the wiser. This is so screwed up. Becoming angry, I asked, why did you kill Reese? Still aiming the gun in my chest, Matthew said, because he's high yellow and knew far too much. That's all. I think all light-skinned blacks should die. Do you want him to tell do you want him to tell your story, Milton? I'm not gonna leave it right there for a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. You got quite a few comments.
Yep.
What are they saying?
Kara Chadwick said Rita X knows Rita Aura.
Know about that, Charles. Wait, hold on.
Kara Chadwick said Rita
Hold on.
knows Rita Aura.
Let me turn this volume down on this phone.
Then Brenda went, woo! Oh, this is from my book called In the Black on Amazon. I think it should be book number. Yeah, book number I've written.
Janice said, hi, yellow. Oh my God, that is funny. That is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we all know that Stephen is so in love with Brooke. However, There's always temptation rustling somewhere nearby. You know what I'm saying? So this is when Stephen meets the sultry Peaches. Nia, this is Peaches Collins, Zuri's good friend from Georgia. Peaches, this is Nia Alda Monroe, Brett's wife. Oh yes, I met your husband earlier in the week. Pleased to make your acquaintance as well. The women shook hands. Speaking of my husband, have you seen him? Nia asked. Stephen frowned. Looking about, he noticed Zuri also had disappeared. No, I haven't, he said. Did you look inside the house? Wait, hold on, let me go back here. Did you look inside the house? Yeah, he's not in there either, she said. Well, I've got to get home. I have an early shift in the morning. I can't hang out with you midweek party animals. I'll tell him you're gone if you like. That would be great, thanks. Try though she may, Stephen saw right through Nia's facade. He discerned that deep inside she was hurting. Rising, he excused himself to Peaches. I'll be right back. I'll be waiting. Got an admirer, huh? Nia elbowed him playfully. Yeah, it's good for the ego, I guess. Let me walk you to your car. It's getting pretty dark, he said, blushing. When they got to her Jeep, Stephen opened the door for her and helped her in. Thanks, Stephen. You're always so sweet. Maybe I married the wrong guy, she added softly. Tears brimmed her eyes. Stephen smiled. Maybe you did, he said before closing the SUV door. Their eyes told one another that they understood the source of that comment. More so, the message relayed in that glance before Stephen backed away from the vehicle and said it was too late to ever know. Shortly after he returned to the patio, Stephen noticed Brett and Zuri reappear. Brett carried 2 bags of something and Zuri a bag of ice. He rolled his eyes and shook his head in disgust and resumed the conversation with Peaches, grateful for the distraction. Want to move inside? Peaches said, standing. It was more of a statement than a question. Sure, it has cooled down a bit. Once inside, Brett approached them. Hey, either of you seen my wife lately? Stephen masked his disdain. He knows good and well that I know where Nia is. Frankly, so does he. Your lovely wife has gone home for the evening, Peaches drawled. What time did she leave? Shortly before you walked in, Stephen answered. Do they live far? Perhaps you should call and check that she got in okay, Peaches said. Brett cut his eye at Stephen. He knew his friend was waiting for a response. Yeah, I just might do that, he said before walking away. Glancing at his watch, Stephen realized the hour was growing late. He figured he'd better get home. His plan was to pack for a trip to the mountains on tomorrow. Brooke's flight was expected in at noon. He'd pick her up from the airport and head west. Peaches had changed into a pair of jeans and a short-sleeved white sweater. She was working that outfit as well. Judging from the look in her eyes, Stephen determined he was next. Feeling the vibe from where she sat across the room, he figured he'd better make his escape now. The last thing he needed was to grapple with how to explain a one-night stand to Brooke. He decided to find Zuri first. Moving slowly through the now thin crowd, he found her in the kitchen with Brett. The two of them were seated at the table. Hey, lady, I'm a jet. Your cookout was the bomb, he said as he kissed her lightly on the cheek. Thanks, Stephen. See you in the morning. No, actually, you won't. Brooke's coming into town tomorrow, and I'm planning a getaway. Brett smiled. He extended his fist to Stephen and nodded his approval and support. Though it angered Stephen to see the two of them together, he decided to let it go. Nia was not a stupid woman. She'd figure out how to handle her business. Well, the two of you enjoy yourselves. See you next week, Zuri said, smiling. Later. Did I hear you say you're leaving? Peaches met him in the kitchen doorway. Yeah, girl, I got to make that move, but it was sure nice talking to you. The pleasure was all mine, I'm sure. He allowed her to get close to him. You sure you have to go? Her lips oozed with anticipation. I got to go. By now he could feel the heat from her body. Stephen knew that all he had to do was ask. When can I see you again? I'll be here for the next 2 weeks checking out the place. Peaches pressed her pelvis against Stephen's thigh. She placed her...
That book X-rated. That nerve. Man.
She placed her arms loosely around his neck, hands brushing the back of his head. Damn, he thought, this is Russian roulette. And as bad as I love to bang this chick, I got a lose-lose situation. Stephen drew her to him. You know what? You are definitely packing some junk in your trunk, but I got a lady friend flying in tomorrow. And if she says yes, I'm going to make her my wife. I cannot mess that up. She means too much to me. Who says she has to know? By now, Peach's voice had grown husky. Stephen grinned at her suggestion of making her his paramour. I'll know, he said. Peaches smiled. Your lady friend is very lucky. Men like you are hard to find. Thank you, he said, releasing his grip. Mm-hmm. She shook her head. You don't get off that easy. Oh, I don't? No. Her lips took him by surprise. They felt like satin against his mouth. For a minute, his defenses fell, and she found that vulnerable spot and stroked it with her thigh. A soft moan escaped Stephen's throat. She had fired chamber number 1. This time, no bullet had discharged. The next move could render him powerless. Ooh. Yes. Ooh. The sultry Peaches.
I had to freshen up my drink off that one.
I don't know. What's his name? The wife and one of his women too. Oh, playing, pretending they him.
Milton. Matthew.
Oh.
Yeah, I need to take a little sip and look off that one.
Well.
Yeah. Yes, I was fanning. Yes, I was hot, Janice. Kind of caught me off by surprise.
Yeah, the sultry Peaches. I told y'all she was sultry.
Oh, yes, she.
She had one goal in mind.
Yeah.
Janice, thank you, Janice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you cannot. What she said, you can't conk out before the grand finale.
Oh, I think I'll be all right, Carol. What do you normally drink with your wine?
You mean like
when you're drinking now? What would you drink? I mean, what would you eat with it? I'm sorry.
I would have like salmon, or some kind of like maybe shrimp, something. I don't think I would do, even though I don't eat meat, I don't think I would do chicken with it. I think I would do shellfish or fish.
Oh, okay.
With Chardonnay. Now, I don't know if that's I'm not quite the wine connoisseur that my brother was, but I think Chardonnays, because it's a white wine, I think white wines go better with chicken, fish, and shellfish. And I think the reds might go better with like steak and things like that. Okay. Do I drink Merlot or Cabernet? Merlots are a little bit too heavy for me, if that makes sense. If I do drink a white wine, it's a Lord, it flew right out my head. Yeah. A Pinot Grigio. Yeah. What is the one? It's Cabernet. He may have said Cabernet. I don't know. I can't really. Oh, he says love them.
Yeah. If I do a wine, it's a Cabernet. Or Merlots are a little bit too heavy for me. And I think I almost hydrated.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit. Go ahead. And no, comes the mad dog.
What that said.
No, Walter.
MD 2020. Yeah, that's a good red wine.
No. I should put you
That's
right
a real.
in the
Hmm.
emergency. That Mad Dog 2020 put you in the emergency room.
Own it with an IV and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Going back to my Jim Beam, I usually stick with this brand because you know Jim Beam has several blends out there. They got the devil's cut. I tried that a few times, but
Lord.
yeah, I just bought the little small miniature bottles, the devil's cut. But it's
Hmm.
aged 66 years and it's 90 proof. Uh, but I must be too angelic for devil's cut because I wasn't too crazy about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure you are too angelic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
See my halo? You can't see the halo yet.
um. Mm, no.
And it got a single barrel that's 95 proof, but I need to go find that one. And they got a double oak just that was matured in two barrels, but I haven't tried. I don't think I've tried with the devil's cut. And they have another one like a green label,
Hmm.
but they were both too heavy for me. So I just need to stick with the tried and true. And this is 80 proof and it's 40% alcohol by volume.
Wow. Well, Ellen wants to know what is Devil's Cut.
Doo-doo-doo. So uses is aged for 6 years and it uses bourbon extract from the cask wood after emptying.
Hmm.
That's what that means, and it's 90 proof. Yeah.
I'm gonna see the different wines that Shoe Crazy Wine makes in case people want to check her out. She is local, and she's African American.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh,
So
hey, Monday,
um,
Paris.
let's see. They have the Chardonnay, which I'm drinking.
Hey, Lisa.
Then they have a sparkling peach mango.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. They have, what is this one? Melange Red. It's a red blend. It's a Zinfandel, a Merlot, and a Syrah.
Okay.
Sounds interesting. Don't strike a match, Charlie. My drink of the day is a single barrel bourbon, Eagle Rare. Do you know
Huh.
that one?
No, it's the first time I heard of that. Well, thanks, Dap. Now, if you're out
Mm-hmm.
listening to us, what are you drinking right now? Tell us in your comments. And if you're drinking orange juice or iced tea or water, don't be embarrassed. I won't.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say much. Oh,
They also have a sweet Bella.
mm-hmm.
It's a semi-sweet red that tantalizes the
Water.
senses, soft notes of sweet chocolate and berries on the finish.
Oh,
I might
okay.
try that one.
Uh-huh.
And is um it's called Sweet Harmony. This delectable creation is sweet with flavors of sweet apple.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm gonna have
Good.
to try. Oh, they have a strawberry passion.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I'm not a real sweet wine lady, but I'm gonna have
mm.
to try some of her other wines to
Oh.
support.
Well, Ellen is drinking water on ice. Sarah
Good
Chad with
choice.
Ashton Creek.
Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah. Oh,
I
and
think.
and Diet Coke on the rocks. Oh, that's all good. You put a little splash of bourbon in if you want to. What kind of going back to the book clubs. I mean, book clubs. Sorry, book signings. Not book signings either. Book fairs that we went to yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I generally like them because you get to meet people and kind of keep you on the toes. What you're writing now and why you write it. No. Thanks for the website, Adapt. Yeah, just
For the wine.
yeah. I wish we had just a little bit more folks on yesterday for the book event.
That would
But
have been nice.
yeah, some good indoors. But like I said, usually at night and people usually stop by after work. Um, but all the ones I've been to, I think yeah, did one a long time ago, which was really good and very well organized. Um, I didn't know if you had any other kind of thoughts on going to book events or book fairs. But a while back, I went to the, I think I may have mentioned it, I went to the Baltimore Book Festival up in
Yeah,
Baltimore.
I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had all this independent, no-name authors, way off to the side somewhere, and all the famous authors was, way up front. So that was just a little bit disheartening. You
Yeah.
driving a long distance and didn't even sell a book, and
The year I went, they had two tents, but it was a mixture. And the
uh-huh.
first tent, I was actually assigned to the first tent.
Yeah,
And
okay.
they had the well-known authors kind of had their own little cabanas.
Uh-huh.
But I guess you can say the semi-well-known authors and authors like me were in
Mm-hmm.
one tent. And interestingly, I didn't go in that tent. I was with a friend and I went in her tent. Had I gone in the first tent, I probably would have sold a lot of books because everybody in the first tent pretty much sold out,
Okay.
which I thought was interesting. And the people in my tent, we sold little or nothing. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it was because by the time people got to us, they just weren't interested in purchasing books anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, the best book fair I have ever been to was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Okay.
And it is their annual book fair. I have never seen anything like it. Let's say the book fair was supposed to start at 8.
Mm-hmm.
People were lined up at 7 and 7:30, sitting in their chairs with bags,
Oh, okay.
waiting to get in. And when they left with bags of books. I've
Oh.
never seen anything like it.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
those people came to buy books. It was well worth the ride.
Uh-huh.
Well worth it. I went once with a couple of other girlfriends,
Mm-hmm.
and my sister and I stayed at a bed and breakfast that was lovely in Old Town, Winston-Salem. It was, it has a lot of history, so we did a little tour. But anyway, the book fair was not like anything I had ever seen. I mean, people, they came to buy books. I'd never seen anything. It was very well done.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we can check it out one year.
Man, that's amazing. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
this one I got invited to was someone up in Germany somewhere. But I can't
Oh,
figure folks. So I didn't go. They wanted thousands of dollars for me to show up
wow.
for this one in
And then
Germany. It is.
you gotta do fair, airfare too. I'm trying to see. Sometimes people don't know to bring money. Is this a season? What did Ellen say? I can't. Is
And
this season we have a lot of first timers?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I just think that I just found it very interesting, and I don't know the difference in that crowd and the difference in book fairs and other book fairs that I've been to.
Yeah.
I've been to one or two in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Winston-Salem's in Charlotte that were nice, but they weren't very well attended.
Mm-hmm.
And I did sell books. But the crowd at Winston-Salem was we were all just so shocked.
Oh, okay.
And like even at the Baltimore Book Fair, when I went, they had a nice crowd,
They
but it
did.
was people, I mean, they were buying books from me and I'm an unknown
Mm-hmm.
relatively compared to like Terry McMillan was there. Compared to
Oh,
telling Terry McMillan,
yeah. 'Cause I think I went. Zane was there because
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard from her in a while. The urban lit now
Mm-hmm.
doing those, and I think when I started writing books, I was a little discouraged. I said, well, my novels are not urban lit, they're not street law,
Mm-hmm.
like some people call it. So trying to find out, well, who's my audience, because I was going to these book signings and I was going to these book club meetings and I was going to these book fairs, and it was like street lit, urban lit, urban lit, urban lit. That's what we want to read. That's what we want to read. And kind of like what you said before, and why do you invite me here? My books are not urban lit. It's general fiction. And, you're writing books and trying to find your audience. You got to deal with what's out there. But, not to sound bougie, I didn't have a whole lot of experience with street literature or they're, they're urban lit, but they seem like, from what I heard through the grapevine, they made quite a bit of money off of it. So,
Yeah, I think the urban lit era is, I won't say it's over, but I don't think it is as popular as it was. I just don't. I think that we as readers have broadened our perspective when it comes to books. You know, like I talk about Brian a lot. My friend Brian W. Smith. Brian doesn't write urban lit, but Brian does well. Trice Hickman, she's another friend. Trice doesn't write urban lit. Trice does very well.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I think that it's a matter of, like you said, finding your target audience. You know, and once you find your target audience, you just kind of appeal to them.
Well, yeah, exactly. Uh, yeah, so yeah, I had Russell there for quite a few years. So then I
Mm-hmm.
said, just let me stay steady and let me go ahead and just keep the pace. And you know
Mm-hmm.
what happened? I said somebody gotta like it. So at
They
least
they they
look,
they,
one.
they do. I think. Mhm.
I said one person is going to read it, and one person going to like it.
And then they'll tell somebody, and they'll tell somebody. You know, I
Yeah.
remember CeeLo Green said, "It took me 18 years to become an overnight success."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think that what we're doing is good, you know, and I think if we keep doing this, and maybe we can go to Charlottesville sometime. That one's an hour away.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one. I didn't have a chance.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, before we go, if you want to, I'm gonna read a little bit of
Oh,
the Prodigal Son for Janice. Janice, are you still there? I bought this one too because I know she wanted to hear. Now, these are not on the market. Ellen says, yes, you're doing very well. Thank you, Ellen.
mm-hmm.
So this is from the Prodigal Son, and I'm just going to read the prologue because the prologue kind of sets the tempo of the entire book. So the Prodigal Son is my only sequel, and it's the sequel to Toward the Light. And Toward the Light, I'm not. Toward the Light is kind of retired because it just needed to be. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, this is about a gentleman by the name of Adelia Preston. And in his past life, he was a mess. I'll read the back and then I'll read the prologue. He was a mess, but he got himself together. He has a lovely wife. He has children. He's like an associate pastor at one of the leading churches. It takes place in Richmond, in the Richmond area. And in his past life, he was a womanizer, and he met this young lady. He was young. She was still in high school, and he messed around with her, didn't care about her. You know, she got pregnant. She ended up having a miscarriage. Her grandmother sent her away because her grandmother had had enough. So she was forced to go live with her mother in New York. But she made something of herself. But she carried bitterness in her heart. And you know, bitterness is not a good thing in the heart.
Nope.
So this is the back of the book. 5 years later, this is 5 years after Toward the Light. Adelia Preston has worked faithfully over the past 5 years to provide for his family. His ministry, The Prodigal Son, has helped countless young men give up the gang life and turn themselves around. When he stops and thinks about it, life could not be any sweeter. By a chance encounter, he runs into his former lover, Aisha. As he looks at her, his mind flashes back to the last time he saw her and the way he wrecked her life. Will he apologize for the pain he caused, turn and walk away, or will he allow the unexplained attraction he now feels for her pull him into her deadly trap? So this is when they meet. Aisha froze. Anxiety filled her mind, overflowing into her being. Can it be? Have her ears deceived her? Is she having some sort of auditory hallucination? She wants to believe that it's true, yet dreads knowing the truth. So her body remains fixed to its spot on the floor. Judah, I said stop right now. Wait for your sister and me. Did he say Judah? Who is Judah? And a sister? Forcing herself to turn around, Aisha comes face to face with her Achilles heel. He hasn't noticed her, not yet, but she knows. His face, his eyes, lips, the shape of his body, the beautiful locks that now hang midway his back, all let her know it's him. And then her eyes follow the direction of his gaze. The little boy is his image, skin the color of butterscotch ice cream, eyes the greenest of green. She feels as though she knows him, as if this child could have been her own. Judah, but how? She finds herself thinking back, calculating time, days, months, years. Judah, she said once more, aloud this time. The child turns to face her, having heard his name. He regards her momentarily before moving to stand beside his father. Adaliah's protected instinct kicks in and he looks to see who has startled his son. It takes a moment, but the familiarity of the young lady finally registers. Aisha? Hey, how have you been? He approaches her, his outstretched hand touching her arm. I've been fine, and you? Great. When did you get back in town? I've been back for a while. I guess about 9 months now. He smiled, remembering how sweet she had been those 5 years ago. His smile was also in response to how beautiful Aisha had become. You look fantastic, Isha. I always knew you'd be something special one day. How old is your son? There, she asked him. She needs to know that this child is younger than theirs would have been, that Judah had come years later. Adaliah sighs. Her question catches him off guard. He figured that sooner or later this moment would come. He just didn't expect it to be today. Judah is 4 years old, and my daughter, Amani, is 2. Aisha notices the baby girl in his arms for the first time. She is gorgeous. Her sandy brown hair hangs in ringlets, gently caressing her face. She has the most beautiful blue-gray eyes with lashes that any woman would kill for. Her complexion is the color of toasted almonds, and her little mouth is drawn into a perfect pout. It suddenly dawns on Aisha that Adaliah is wearing a wedding ring. Brandy is right, she said to herself. He has gone on with his life. You were having another baby? At the same time as us? You had another baby? The shock and disbelief that Aisha feels is written all over her face. Aisha, what I did then was wrong. And I know we need to talk, but please don't do this in front of my children. Here, take my card. Call me. We'll talk later. Placing the toddler on the floor, he reaches into his wallet and hands her his business card. The prodigal son, huh? She said, glancing at the card. Yeah, it's the name of my ministry. And I guess it's also the story of my life. Aisha looks down, feeling Amani's gentle tug on her pants. The baby smiles and says hi, waving her little hand in the air. As she looks at her, a flood of emotions fill Aisha's heart. She doesn't know whether to cry or return the baby's friendly gesture. Reaching down, she gathers the little girl into her arms. She could have been ours. Both of them could have been ours. Come on, Aisha, please, not now. I promise we'll talk, just not right now. Just then an impatient Judah speaks up. Daddy, come on, we have to get Mommy's birthday gift. Adaliah smiles at his son. Okay, let's go. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt your little family time, Aisha said sarcastically, handing Amani to her dad. The look on Aisha's face betrays the remorse he feels. Let me start again. The look on Adaliah's face betrays the remorse he feels for all he put Aisha through. Deep inside, he realizes he has to make amends for his mistake, only he doesn't know how. Turning on her heels, Aisha walks away, not looking back. Call me, Isha. We'll talk. She hears him say. Still, she keeps her course. Isha, call me. Adaliah yells after her once more. Only did she turn when she hears Imani's goodbyes. At this point, all she can do is wave. Tears have choked her voice.
And you read good after drinking a couple of glasses of wine.
Thank you. I practice in the evenings. I practice for today.
Oh, well, good. Well, I'm going to read a short one before we log off here.
Okay.
They're reading from In the
Oh,
Black, available on
um,
Amazon. Get your book from.
Denise says, have we thought of audiobooks?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. She said she do a
I,
good job reading. I'll look
yeah,
into that.
yeah. I thought about it before the pandemic happened. Because everything had closed back, so I need to start rethinking all that again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, going to chapter 26. This is Jason talking. So they left Radford in that area, and they now in Washington D.C.
Oh.
About to go into a club called Bill's. And
Mm-hmm.
Jason finds out he has another persona. So upon reaching DuPont Circle, we parked our vehicles and walked to the front entrance of Bill's. DuPont Circle contains rows of restaurants, shops, grocery and retail stores, and nightclubs on both sides of the busy street. I thought that this section of the District of Columbia was busy for an early Sunday afternoon. I looked at bills that was sandwiched between an upscale restaurant and a grocery store and found some familiarity with the trendy club. Now, being a partial amnesiac with the occasional personality disorder, I
Mm.
was spending a lot of weekends and some early Sunday afternoon at Bill's. As Jason, I normally attend Sunday school and church on Sundays, but today I'm at a club. Also, I instinctively knew that once I entered the building, there would be no turning back. The early May weather was warm and breezy as heavy traffic passed in front of Bill's. Remember that he left something in his car. Milton instructed Reese and me to go inside. He would meet us a little later. After Milton returned to his car, I took a long look at Reese. I can't promise you what kind of man I will be once I go inside. Are you sure you want to follow me? I asked. Yes, I will walk with you along this journey, Reese replied. I must be crazy, he thought. Thanks. I led the way to the inside of the club. Reese and I stood at the top of the staircase that led to the large dance floor. We found a large scale, we saw a, no, I'm sorry, we found a full scale bar to the right of the dance floor, a stage complete with stage lights directly in front of us, and a dining area to the left of the dance floor. The ceiling held several spot and strobe lights, as well as large speakers that was filtering fast, danceable music. Naturally, there was one large disco ball hanging in the center of the dance floor. Bill's looked like a nightclub that owner once saw on television. I smiled at the sight before me and was excited to see everyone in attendance. For a Sunday afternoon, there were several people at the large-scale bar, 3 dozen people on the dance floor, and even people enjoying a Sunday brunch in the dining area. I walked down 3 steps while Reese remained at the top of the stairs. As I stood on the steps surveying the club, every eye turned toward me as loud gasps filled the nightclub. Suddenly, everyone chanted Duke and applauded as I ascended the staircase. The chants and applause grew louder as I continued down the stairs. I felt and looked as though I was in my element. A new personality began to evolve from my inner being with
Oh
each
Lord.
day. It was far different from my Jerome and Jason persona, but it felt just as comfortable and easy. When I finally made my way down the staircase and made my way toward the gigantic bar, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, 25-year-old male bartender asked with sheer excitement, Duke, what would you like to drink? All of your drinks are on the house. Welcome back. In a deep baritone voice, I replied, it's Scotch old fashioned and keep them coming. Good to see you again, Dave. I shook hands with the men and women and hugged a few of the other patrons. Reese walked halfway down the staircase and took a long look at everyone in attendance. His eyes narrowed as he scanned the dining room. There were several male couples having brunch, as well as several female couples. They were all fixated on me as they ate. Reese turned his attention to the dance floor and found women dancing with women and men with men. Like the patrons in the dining room, they were enthralled by my appearance, and it was like they were watching a bona fide duke with royal blood. Reese finally said aloud, "Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. This is a gay club. Jason's gay?" Well, anyway, after all that, and out of nowhere, a young-looking, brown-haired man, several years younger than me, this is still Jason talking, with blue eyes whispered, "Are you still packing 10 inches?" In a baritone voice, I whispered,
"Oh, Jesus.
"I sure am, Rob. 12 inches. Interested?" "Well, you know I am." Rob laughed at the reply as I gave him a seductive smile. While I was socializing with almost all of the patrons, Reese made his way to the dining area. A waiter took his order for an omelet and a Bloody Mary. He's the only person that I know who can drink before noon, except for the people at Wayman's place. As Reese sat alone at his table watching me function as a duke, from a distance, a young woman took a seat at his table. She had the complexion of cocoa that complemented her hourglass figure underneath her form-fitting dress that fell just above her knees. The gorgeous woman crossed her legs to reveal an ankle bracelet. "And my goodness, you are one handsome man. Too bad you're gay," she said. "Who, me? Oh, I'm not gay. I'm just here with a friend," replied Reese. "Oh, I see. I'm Tiffany, and you are?" "I'm Reese. Nice to meet you," as he extended his hand across the table. Tiffany returned the handshake and kissed the inside of Reese's hand. "Nice wedding band. Are you sure you're not gay?" asked Tiffany. She gave him a lustful look. "Positive. I have a wife who is described as a legendary beauty and some funny and entertaining kids at home. Are you a lesbian?" "It's a fair question. I'm bisexual. Sometimes I like my men who look like you, and sometimes I like my women. When I desire a woman that I want, and when I desire a man, I want one." "Oh, I see," Reese replied, as he lost words. So anyway, Jason goes on. He gets on the stage and starts stripping. He's a stripper too. But anyway, close your mouth. Anyway, and on
Well,
Amazon,
Lord.
and make sure you get
Now,
your
I
last
tell you what, there
bourbon
was a.
along with it.
So Janice wanted to know. Let me find it. Does he have multi-personality?
It's safe to assume.
It is safe to assume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But at the end, you need to figure out which one he picks.
He picks a personality?
Well, he reveals some things and he goes,
Okay.
I need to do something with these personalities. So he's aware of it.
I think I have that one on my bookshelf. I'm gonna have to pull that off my bookshelf and reread it in between my school lessons.
Yep. Ooh, so it's 7:55.
All right.
So
I
next
think
week
that was.
is
Oh, look, Ellen said the club starts with the C, but not the big C.
oh.
And not the disco. No disco ball. Oh, it had a disco ball.
Yeah. So next week is what, 4th of July. So we're gonna take that week off, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And while Savannah and I was at the book event yesterday, we decided we're gonna try our luck on Instagram Live. So Sunday after 4th of July, we're gonna be on Instagram since they have 100 million viewers. Like Ellen said earlier, maybe we can get some sponsors here. Look, we can get free liquor and some free wine.
Wouldn't that be great? And we can, I think you can, when we do Instagram, I think we can also tag it somehow to Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I've seen people do that. So we have time to figure it out.
Okay, yeah. So that'd be our homework assignment for next week. Okay. Well, I think we should thank everybody who joined us this
Yes,
evening.
thank you so much.
Ellen and Terrence, and of course Janice and Brenda Wood
And
and
Dad,
Doris. I think you had a
Dad
couple.
stopped through.
Oh, yep, that.
Did you
Yes.
say Carol?
Oh, yeah, Carol. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank
And
you all
Ellen.
for joining us this evening.
And it was, oh, wait, didn't one of your guy friends on here? Maybe not. I thought one of your guy friends,
Yeah.
other than Dap, stopped through, but maybe I'm
Yeah.
wrong.
Aaron Singleton. Ellen said we can just sync it to our Facebook page. Okay.
Oh, okay. So she
Yeah.
knows how to do it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that'd be our homework assignment.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Janice. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm so
Yeah.
glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all righty.
All
Well, good
right.
night to everybody.
Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta raise my glass. Don't sign us off yet until we raise glasses. All
gotta,
right.
you gotta fill up again.
Yes. So a
Cheers.
lovely evening. Clink, 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 clink.
Yep.
We got a toast. Bring your glass
Yep.
so we can toast.
Yep. Clink.
Clink. Okay.
Yep. All right. So we'll see you all the Sunday after the 4th of July next week.
All
Good.
right. You guys have a good week and a safe 4th.
That's right.
All right. Good night.